Welcome to PiSeas Tarot, and I am your host, Mimi Lightseer. Your business is my business. Today, we will dive into your business with a timeless relationship reading, which means it could be platonic, professional, or romantic. In this session, we will explore the overall energy of your reading, obtain cosmic insights to identify the topics, spill the tea on the energies involved, uncover the positives and the negatives while revealing the lessons that you need to learn, and suggest actions for healings and the best possible outcomes. Remember, this is a general reading, and you have found it when this message is needed. Please take what resonates and leave the rest. Remember, I am LGBTQ plus friendly, using pronouns for storytelling purposes. Lastly, please like, rate, subscribe, and comment. Let me know how this message is connecting with you. And without further ado, let's get into your business. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to PiSeas Tarot, everybody. I am your host. I am Mimi Lightseer over here at PiSeas Tarot. Your business is my business. Ooh, child, we about to get into somebody's business. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning to all of my guppies, my friends who are on the graveyard shift, and good evening to my international family. If you are, and most importantly, good morning to all of my folks that's watching behind the scenes on TikTok. We cannot forget about my TikTok folks. If you are new to the PiSeas Tarot experience, go ahead and drop a star in the chat. If you're a returning guest, go ahead and put a fish in the chat. We want to be able to recognize all of our new and our pre-existing guppies. Okay, so if you are new, if you returning, just say put an emoji in the chat, right? But we want to welcome all of our new folks today, y'all. Listen, today's agenda consists of a brief meditation / sound bowl cleansing. Okay, followed by some divine downloads and insights and earworms, and oh baby, I got one for you. Okay, then I'm going to follow up with a tarot card reading. All right, and we will go ahead and close out with some lasting thoughts and confirmations about where everything is. So listen, if y'all ready to get into this reading, I need y'all to welcome to all the new folks. Welcome. If y'all ready to get into this reading, go ahead and put your little scrub brushes, your brooms, your vacuums, whatever it is, because it's time for us to center ourselves and get ready to put ourselves into a position of receiving this reading. Okay, so if y'all ready to get into it, here we go. All right, so before we get started, it's important that we just take a second to level set and ground ourselves. And the simplest way of doing this is doing breath work and cleansing our energy. I know some of y'all been up all night. Some of y'all been doing this, that, and the third. You know, some of y'all might have just woke up. But the bottom line is that we need to take time to level set. So we do this quickly by doing some just breath works, right? So we're going to do a deep inhale, hold it, and we're going to exhale slowly. Within each inhale, we want to invite clarity and balance. And with each exhale, we definitely want to release any tensions, distractions, anxieties, anything that's negative, right? We want to let that go. And we're going to do this 3 times. So here we go. Ooh, I'm telling you, I gotta do that, right? It gets you feel intoxicated, all right? Now let's clear up any remaining stagnant energy and reset and come into one with alignment and presence, okay? So here we go. Yes, divine white light, you are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Listen, for the harm of none and for the benefit of all, show us clear and precise messages for those who are here, those who will be here in the future. And whenever this message finds whoever it's meant for, let it resonate with them. Amen, 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 amen. All right, y'all, listen. If y'all ready, look, Lindsay, like, I'm glad to see you live again. Listen, welcome back, Lindsay. If y'all ready for some fun, safe, non-judgmental interaction, Keep in mind, this is a safe space, okay? Ain't nobody judging you, all right? So, with that being said, all right, if y'all ready to get into this, your honesty and transparency is appreciated. Most importantly, your engagement is, all right? So if y'all ready to get into this reading, I need y'all to go ahead and find those cooking emojis. Go ahead and find those cooking emojis because, baby, it is time for me to cook. And I was sitting here struggling during the pre-show, but I think I is here now. I has arrived. So if y'all's ready to get into this reading, I need y'all to go ahead and find those cooking emojis because it is time for us to get into these divine insights. Here we go. So each day, before I do a reading, I always take a minute to reflect upon the immediate energies that spirit is sharing with me. And initially I was struggling because, as I said in the pre-show, I was struggling because I wasn't feeling anything. I wasn't hearing anything. I wasn't doing anything, right? And so one of the things that spirit started to show to me was the importance of self-love. And so I actually Googled this, right? Because I know a lot of times when we talk, people always assert that they know what self-love is. You know, they always say, you know, what do people say? They be like, oh, don't you love yourself? You need to love yourself, right? But what does that actually freaking look like? You know, my self-love looks different from your self-love, and your self-love looks different from their self-love, right? And so self-love is a combination of things that nobody really teaches you as a child how to grow up and how to do, like self-love. Like your parents teach you how to, you know, hygiene. They should teach you hygiene. They should teach you how to, you know, take care of yourself from the exterior. But what does that look like on the interior? You know, and a lot of times, if we're being honest, parents do not do a good job building kids in their self-esteem and talking about self-love enough to where they grow into the practice of having a healthy, positive form of self-love, right? So I say that to say, many adults get into this space in life where you realize you don't really know what self-love is. You've heard it, but you don't know what it is. And so I Googled, what exactly is self-love, okay? And at its core, it is the practice of having a positive regard for yourself, treating yourself with kindness. Okay, well, most of us don't even know what kindness is. So how are we supposed to treat ourselves with kindness, right? What does that mean? Because if you ask anybody in the world, like, what does kindness look like? Again, it's a variety, it's a hodgepodge of things, right? And if we're being honest, most of the world is I won't say most of the world because that's a gross exaggeration and an inappropriate generalization, but there's a large number of people who have not a lick of kindness in their bodies. Let's just be honest. So what exactly is this, right? And it said it is closely related to self-esteem and self-compassion, in which a lot of us are raised not even to have healthy versions of self-esteem. Okay? So it says, what does it look like? Accepting yourself as you are, prioritizing yourself, setting healthy boundaries, forgiving yourself, listening to your body, taking breaks from work, and eating healthy, okay? And so as I was sitting here, allowing this narrative of self-love to metastasize internally so that I can give you this message, right? I started to hear this song playing in my ear. And as I was sitting here, I was like, oh. And I said to I said, there it is. There it is. And so I started to hear this harp playing in the background. And all of a sudden, I started to hear this song that goes a little something like this. Baby, you don't play me no mind. You act like you don't love me no more. Maybe you need space or some time. Your attitude is unpredictable. And I don't want to make you unhappy. If you're not happy, then you're free to move on, because I don't want you staying around if I make you so miserable. Raise your hand in the chat if you know who sings that song. Just raise your hand in the chat, because I know it ain't a person alive that don't know who sing this song. Just raise your hand in the chat, because I feel like this is one of those songs when you go to the karaoke and you got your drink spilling all over and you're barely standing up straight because it done got into your system, and you're just having that good old time, and you start yelling and your voice is cracking, singing off key. Okay, singing off key. This is from 2005. Fantasia, Free Yourself. Okay, this song was written and produced by Missy Elliott and Craig Brockman. Okay, it's called Free Yourself. And it's from her debut album. Okay, and I want to read this again because I want you to hear the elements of why self-love is important and goes with this. Okay. Baby, you don't pay me no mind. You act like you don't love me no more. Maybe you need space or some time. Your attitude is unpredictable. And I don't want to make you unhappy. If you're not happy, then you're free to move on, because I don't want you staying around if I make you so miserable. Somebody is learning right now at today's age how to show up and how to love themselves. Okay? And with this level of empowerment that is coming their way, they're going to be practicing healthy boundaries, learning how to listen to their body, and forgiving themselves. Okay? So if y'all ready to get into this overall energy reading, I need y'all to go ahead and find those tea kettles, because baby, it's a lesson coming in for you. It is a lesson and a message coming in for you. And I was late just to be here with you. Okay? So if y'all ready to get into this reading, I need y'all to go ahead and find those tea kettles and put those tea kettles in the chat, because child, it's time for us to get into this. Here we go. When understanding energy, it's important to know that energy speaks to us in a plethora of ways. The universe speaks to us all around us, all day long. It's speaking to us, right? So, the overall energy reading for today is... Sorry, guys. That camera's doing that thing again. There we go. All right. What is the overall energy reading for today? You know, self-love is more than just looking good. It's more than just going to the gym and working out. It's the foods that you eat. It's the relationships that you maintain. It's the healthy boundaries that you put in place. It's prioritizing yourself. And a lot of times when you get into these roles as mother, as wife, especially for women, we negate that, we forget what that looks like because we're in constant sacrifice to other people. Okay. So it's important to know that you got to love yourself first before you can love anybody else. All right. So with that being said, the overall energy reading for today is exposed and revealed. Exposed and revealed. Okay. Something is being exposed and revealed, and your eyes are being wide open. Okay. Your eyes are being wide open. You no longer can go around and pretend that you don't see what you see. Whatever you are being exposed and revealed, made privy of, it is a rawness. There is a level of clarity that is here. There is a nudity that is here, right? And I say that because it's a nakedness that is here, right? You no longer can hide from that. You no longer can conceal it. It is what it is, okay? And there's no more pretending that it's not exactly what it is, all right? Now, what is the truth that we need to hear right now for this journey? What is the truth that we need to hear right now for this journey? Imagination. I embrace and nourish the creative aspects of my mind. Okay. We always get this card coming out, but it feels as though with the imagination card, okay, it feels like this is about you. I always go back to manifesting, right? trying to bring something to pass, trying to be optimistic is the better word, okay? And I took a minute there to pause because when we're talking about it being exposed and revealed, I wanted to make sure that I was picking up with clarity what exactly that means. And in this instance, whatever is being exposed and or revealed to you, there is a level of optimism that is trying to peek through. And I feel like this is where you're trying to be optimistic about the circumstances that are present. But I don't get the impression that now is the time for you to try to second guess or talk yourself out of what is, okay? Now is not the time. You know, there are times when you could be optimistic. There are times when you could be positive. There's times when you could act like something ain't about. Now is not the time. It is being exposed. It is being revealed. There's a fragility here. There's a rawness here. There's a vulnerability. Bro, like this ain't the time. This is not the time for you to be trying to be positive Patty. Okay, it is what it is. All right. Now, the guys of the hidden realms have to say, death reclaims a life. Okay, death reclaims a life. This is about natural endings, grief, letting go, the sacred quality of death. Okay. So something is coming in as a ending of some sort. Okay. What I'm saying is here, natural endings, grief, letting go, the sacred quality of death. Okay. Oh God, this is coming in heavy already this morning. This is going back to what the earworm was, okay? If you're unhappy, then you're free to go on, because I don't want you staying around if I make you feel so miserable, right? Someone has definitely been exposed here, okay? And there is it's come to the end of the road, right? There's no more repair. There's no more fixing. There's no more trying to, you know, again, negate and act like, you know, I feel like I'm talking in circles right now, but I'm trying to be as clear as I possibly can. It feels as though you've band-aided something as much as you can band-aid it. You tried to fix it up as much as you can fix it up. You've tried to do the best that you can with what you got. And the reality is, you no longer can you sit around here and pretend that it's not what it is. I can't say that enough. It is what it is, y'all. You cannot pretend that it's not. Somebody has checked out. Somebody has checked out, okay? And you holding on, acting as if it has no relevance. It has no bearing on it. That is a lie, okay? And this is about you learning how to love yourself enough so that you can move on with your life and just say, you know what? I gave that person the best of me, and it is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
This is about the coral compass, okay? Trust in the guidance of your inner compass and let it lead you to your true north. Okay? Trusting in the guide of your inner compass. All right? So now that you know what you know, now what you gonna do? In other words, now that they have been exposed, now that the truth has been revealed, what are you gonna do? You just gonna sit around and just keep, you know, trying to beg somebody to be here with you? Or are you gonna free yourself? Okay? Are you gonna free yourself? Now, the question then becomes, how is this manifesting for us in our day-to-day lives? How is this manifesting for us in our day-to-day lives? Abundance, okay? Perhaps you've been thinking that you're not going to have any options around you, right? A lot of times we hold on to people because we don't feel like starting over. When we do have to start over, we start thinking about it. We like, dang, you know, am I going to find another so-and-so? Sometimes you don't want to find another so-and-so. Sometimes you need to find somebody a little better than so-and-so, right? Sometimes you need to get out of whatever so-and-so was or was not doing, right? That's where that self-love comes into play, right? And let's be clear. Let's be abundantly clear. There are times where everybody has to compromise and everybody has to settle. Okay? There is no perfect person. You keep on thinking that the grass is greener on the other side. You keep on thinking you can find somebody better than me. Then by all means, you take on that responsibility, right? But there will come a point in every relationship where a person does come to that place of settling. Okay? And so the compromise then becomes, what is it that I can deal with and what is it that I cannot deal with? Right? Those are those absolute deal breakers. Because a lot of times people are chasing nice to haves. But the real luxury is not in the nice to haves. The real luxury is in those things that you just can't get easily. So yeah, for example, I'm being superficial when I say this. Ideally, you would want somebody who don't snore at night. But if that's the worst that your person does, then you just got to learn how to manage dealing with their snoring. Maybe you need to sleep in another room. Okay, but is that really a deal breaker? The answer is no. All right? That ain't no deal breaker, but you talking about some, ooh, I can't sleep next to him because he snore at night. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, that's so juvenile, right? But people will egg you on. Society will egg you on to leave somebody because they don't have X, Y, and Z. Right? But who does? Who does? Okay? Just saying. Now, what is the soul whisper? What is this? Look, I can't even shuffle. What is the soul whisper for today? Y'all, this ain't even funny. I just got a picture of Celie in my head. And what I am saying is that for this instance, it feels specifically as though somebody has been trying their best. They have been fighting for this relationship, being timid, not really speaking up, not really advocating for themselves, struggling to find the words to really communicate. It's like you are communicating to all of your friends and all of your family, anybody who will listen. But when it comes down for you to advocate for yourself and having this conversation with this person directly, you're freezing. You're freezing. And the question is, why are you freezing? Why are you not speaking up and advocating for yourself? This is about joy. This is about happiness. Okay? You probably haven't been happy in this situation in a long time because you're always looking at how to make this other person happy. What about you? What about your happiness? What about your joy? What about your peace? Does this person need so much more than this? You know, is this person's life, is their quality of life so much better than yours that you don't have a voice? I mean, I'm asking these questions because so many times people compromise so much of themselves that we always, look, my nose doing what it do, y'all, that we give up on ourselves for the betterment of other people. And this is about you loving yourself enough to say, you know what, I done gave you 9 miles out of 3 inches. And this is where the buck stops here today. Ooh, child, if you know what I'm talking about, I want y'all to put some black hearts in the chat. If you know exactly what I'm talking about, when you have been giving all that you can give to somebody, and you just keep going, like the Energizer Bunny. And now today is the day that you just said, oh, today is the day you just said, I'm not going. Okay? Today is the day I'm not going. Joy. When I went to school, they asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. I wrote down happy. They told me that I didn't understand the assignment. I told them that they didn't understand life. John Lennon. Happiness can mean various things to different people. Sometimes they will experience happiness when they own the house of their dreams. Other will feel they will be happy when they find the perfect job. It is easy to lose sight of the fact that happiness is something that comes from the inside. Possessions or happiness can make you feel happy to a certain degree, but more often than not, if you are unhappy with yourself and who you are, no amount of belongings or possessions will bring you true happiness. Take a little time to find joy in the small pleasures of life. Think about the little things that truly make you happy. The colors of the garden in full bloom, the loyalty of a pet, the morning sun upon your face. These are things that cannot be bought, earned, or given. Each one is a gift from the universe. Remind yourself, no particular thing will bring you long-term joy, just like a sugar rush. That excitement will come and go swiftly. Happiness is an inside job, no ifs, ands, or buts. So this is about one's happiness, their ability to shine, radiate, and be blissful. This is about them overcoming sorrow, grief, mourning, and sadness, okay? And the reason why they chose the sun for this particular card was because it says the sun shines in the sky every day. Sometimes it will become more difficult for you to see, but it is always present. Remember to experience the joy when the sun comes down upon you and the clouds cover the warm rays, okay? So if you know that you could do a better job with feeling that internal joy, like if you really ask yourself, if you are really happy right now, on a scale of 1 to 10, okay, what would you rate your happiness right now? What would you rate your happiness right now? If you know that you could do a little bit better being happy and fulfilled and pouring into yourself, how would you rate your happiness right now? Because I could tell you some days I'm holding on by a spider web. Okay? But let's be honest. It starts within us, which goes back to that self-love that we were talking about, right? What exactly does that look like? And how do you balance self-love in a relationship when you got to manage somebody else's feelings and emotions and all of that stuff, you know? All right, so here we go, y'all. As we start to shift to more personal insights, take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't, okay? Take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. All right, so somebody is being exposed. And somebody is definitely feeling very used in this instance. Somebody is feeling very used, disappointed, embarrassed, appalled, horrified. I mean, like there's a plethora of emotions coming out of this right now, okay? So our first insight for today is, yes, luck is on your side. Whatever it is, you got the answer. The answer is yes, okay? What is the tea? Whew. Somebody, I hate to say this way, but it's the only way I know how to say it. Somebody's been dealing with low self-esteem in their relationship. Just not feeling appreciated, not feeling seen, not feeling taken for granted. Exhausted. Like there is an exhaustion here. Feeling invisible, right? You're in a relationship but feel invisible, not feeling seen, not feeling appreciated. I can't say that enough. Not feeling appreciated, okay? Somebody been creeping. Okay, somebody's creeping. And it could be more so, not necessarily, when I say creeping, I don't feel in the space of, when I'm using the word creeping, I'm not necessarily saying from the place of cheating. I think it's more so like they're looking for wisdom. They're looking for insight. They're looking for information, trying to make sense of the disconnect in this relationship. They could be on your social media, looking at things, very skeptical right now. Like something like, again, it goes back to being exposed and revealed, okay? Exposed and revealed, all right? So Yeah, it's going back to being exposed and revealed. Okay. Now, what is the news? What's going on here with this situation? Love bombing, overly attentive, shower with affection for personal gain. So in the beginning, this person could have definitely love bombed you. Okay, brought you in, making you feel like you had the best thing you ever had. All right, and now that you in this, it's like that love bombing has stopped. All of that affection and emotion that they were once sharing with you stopped. Okay. All of that level of care and compassion has stopped. And now you've given all of this to them and they're giving nothing to you. Okay. You may be feeling dismayed, confused, you know, maybe feeling as if you are in a period of just like, okay, what did I get myself into? Okay. Because I don't know if you've ever been love bombed, but I've been love bombed before. Let me tell you, I've been love bombed before. And once that period of time stops, you be sitting there and looking like, what did I get myself into? Okay. Now, love story, once upon a time. Okay. This was a love story, ... once upon a time. All right. So somebody is really confused, like what happened? How did the shoe drop? And where did it fall? Because now I'm sitting over here looking at you sideways, like, what did I get myself into? What is the true emotion here? What is the true emotion here? What is going on? Lately, you don't play me no mind. What'd she say? Your attitude is unpredictable. Oh, no, she didn't say it yet. She said, baby, you don't pay me no mind. You act like you don't love me no more. Maybe you need space or some time. Your attitude is unpredictable because I don't want to make you unhappy. If you're not happy, then you're free to move on because I don't want you staying around if I make you so miserable. Okay? They may have even popped the question, okay? Or maybe hanging this over your head that they want to pop the question, okay? But it doesn't feel like it's very sincere, okay? It doesn't feel sincere. It feels like it is coming across like they're doing something to try to get you to shut up. You know, it feels very manipulative. It doesn't feel like this is a genuine love interest to me. And I'm saying that because we got the love bombing and we also have here the love story once upon a time. Okay? Now, when we look into the broken mirror, what do we have here? And I'm guessing too, this pop the question also goes back to your self-love, right? Are you getting married just to say that you're getting married, or are you getting married because this is an actual partnership, right? And I know that that's something that we have to really ask ourselves, because a lot of times women just be doing stuff just to be doing stuff. But who you doing it for? Okay, this is about desire, self-pleasure, sexual thoughts, intense feelings. Okay, this is about desire. All right. Oh boy. Okay. What is the true crime here? What is the true crime here? I don't like when I pick up on stuff and then like the energy starts going in a off the wall direction. Oh my goodness gracious. What is the true crime here? Okay. Desert. Okay. I'm gonna pick another card too. Regret. Regret. It's dry here. It's a lot of regret here. Nothing here. Nothing happening. All right, let me see. What is the yin and the yang? It feels like somebody is being heavily manipulated. Okay, heavily manipulated right now. It feels like this person has another life that you don't know much about, like other sides of them. But I don't understand what is it to gain from this either. Like with this love bombing popping up, popping the questions, dealing with regrets. Like what? Like, what are we saying here? All right. The world, new cycles, karmic completion, travel, fulfillment, success after the quest, storm. Okay, so this is about you, things coming to an end. We already got this death card, right? Natural endings, right? So that's that circular thing happening here, okay? It's the circular thing happening here. All right. So, here we go. This is interesting this morning. Okay, obstacles, adversity, fast forward, moving energy coming in with the eight of clubs with this mountain card. Okay, so this may be something that is very difficult that's going on, right? All right, what is going on? What is blocking this relationship, Spirit? Criticizing your partners, driving them away, focus on their good qualities. Okay, so this feels very emotionally draining. This relationship feels emotionally draining. Okay, this definitely feels like this person is giving narcissism. It's giving heavy narcissistic vibes. Very controlling, very manipulative, love bombing. But that love bombing only happens like when they want something. Is it love here? Okay. I've been showing my lack of interest, but you have been ignoring all the signals. So this is about somebody being unaware. Okay. Somebody has been unaware. All right. So what is going on here? Let's get this together. All right. I think person A is the person who's exposing person B. They realize that this was a love story at one point in time. Okay. Until they realized they were being love bombed. Right. This person may have popped the question. All right. You said yes because you thought that this was God's answer to you. Okay. You thought it was the blessing. You thought it was everything that you wanted it to be. Right. But now that you're starting to see this person for who they are, you may be overly starting to criticize them. You may be overly starting to speak up about the things that, are important to you. Right? The things that are important to you, the things that are bothering you, right? Because if you're at that level of an engagement, you should be able to speak up and speak out about the things that are bothering you, right? I do think this person B may struggles with their own desires, okay? I do feel like they're cold nature, okay? So there may be a dry season between you and this person where like y'all just cannot seem to get right, which is where the desert is. I do feel like they may have been showing to you their lack of interest, okay? But you may have not been paying attention. This has been a fast coming energy towards you, right? something that's coming in that's like, you know, I didn't see this coming. This is very difficult. They're showing all their lack of interest. And they possibly are even telling you, if not showing you with their actions, that they do regret moving forward. Okay. So my question is, person A, I do feel like you're the one that's creeping and looking for information, trying to make sense of it. And B, this is about you guys completing this cycle. Okay. So like, how do I get myself out of this? Because I'm here. I'm here. And I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to be, you know, open and clear and hopeful and all of these different things like that. I can't do it like this, right? I can't do it like this. It's not working for me in this space anymore, right? So it's a very interesting energy going on, y'all. I'm sorry I'm messing with this camera. These cards, they look crooked, but they're not crooked on my end, and that OCD is kicking in. Okay, all right. So if y'all ready to figure out whose business this is, I need y'all to go ahead and put those magnifying glasses in the chat. Go ahead and put those magnifying glasses, because baby, it's time for us to figure out whose business this is. Y'all ready? Here we go. All right, here we go. Whose business is this? All right, y'all. Person A. Remember, when I do my readings, I read for Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. So unless you know what all your placements are, you don't know. All right, person A is coming in as a earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, coming in with the 5 of Pentacles, coming in with emotional loss, lack mindset, loss, isolation, worry, need, poverty, and insecurity. Okay, which goes back to speaking about that self-love that we were talking about, right? They coming in feeling very insecure. And it's just like, you know, if I can't make you happy, then why are you here? You know, it's very straightforward with that. Person B. If you or your person is an earth sign, can you put an earth sign in the chat? If you or your person is an earth sign, can you put an earth sign in the chat? Okay. If you or your person is a earth sign. That's about as good as it's going to get, y'all. If you or your person is an earth sign, go ahead and put an earth sign in the chat. Person B is coming in as a air sign. Okay. Aries, Leo. I'm sorry. Not Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. What am I talking about? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Jeez Louise. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You are coming in as a Knight of Swords in reverse. This is about you being reckless, unfocused, burnt out, impulsive, no direction, unpredictable, which we talked about. Disregarded for consequence. Okay. So if you are a air sign, can you go ahead and put a cloud in the chat? Go ahead and put a cloud in the chat. Put some air in the chat. So if you or your person is either a air or a fire sign, go ahead and put an air or a fire sign in the chat. Because baby, we got to figure out what is going on here. You got somebody that's over here love bombing somebody, asked them to marry them. They done said yes, and now they over here pulling back. Like, what is going on? You over here being exposed and revealed. You're unpredictable. You're moody. You're stinking. You're doing this. Whatever it is, like you're doing too much. All right, it's time for us to get into this reading. Here we go. All right, y'all. Now remember, take what resonates with you and leave what does not, okay? That's the best thing I can tell you. I do my readings for Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. So if you don't know what your placements are, you need to go ahead and look at your natal chart for you and your person so that way you will know. All right? Here we go. What is going on with my Taurus and my Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, dealing with Aries, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Why do I keep wanting to bring up this doggone Aries, Leo, Sagittarius? It could be a third party here too. That's a fire sign that I keep on bringing up. This is confusing. How you ask somebody to marry you, but then you want to act like you're not interested? Like what? This is craziness. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, person A is coming in right now as the Lovers in reverse. All right, the Lovers in reverse. It's a lot of decisions having to be made right now. Person A definitely has come into this relationship coming to the conclusion and the awareness that something has changed. Something is definitely off in this relationship, okay? They feel the change. They feel the disconnect, right? It's like I can't go on pretending that I'm happy in this situation when I know good and doggone well that I'm not. There are things happening in this relationship that is causing me to feel inadequate, causing me to feel insecure, causing me to feel like I gotta go looking for things because I'm not feeling the love. Like, what is happening here? Okay? And this has really gotten to the point to where person A is really utterly confused. If you notice, I have been unable to really articulate my thought, right? I'm feeling like this confused state where everything is so perplexing. And if you recall in the beginning of this reading, it's given the energy of like, who the am I dealing with? You understand? Who am I dealing with? So there is a period and has been a period of stagnation here, which goes back to them pretty much preparing themselves to leave this other person out in the cold. It's like, I don't know how much I can, how much I can make sense of this. You understand? Person A is really in a predicament where they're just like, this is too much. Like, again, how do you ask me to marry you and you have no intentions on going through with it? Okay? How do you want to marry me? How do you come over here love bombing me, trying to make me feel like, and that's where also some of this criticizing is coming from, because I feel like you have been trying to, person A, you have been trying to make sense of it. Like, you're trying to ask questions. You're trying to get clarity. You're trying to have understanding. You're trying to make sense of all the things that you guys have been going through and experiencing together. And it's like, you should be able to have a simple conversation, but you're not able to have the conversation because every time you try to have the conversation, they want to get defensive. Okay? They want to shut down. They want to act like every time you bring something to their attention that you're just hallucinating and making things up.
Accusation. False accusation.
But the reality is, you're knocking at something, right? The thing is, you, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, your ear has been pulled, okay? You're paying attention to things because things are not adding up. And instead of you standing on business and saying, you know what, this doesn't make any sense. Why am I feeling this way? And you supposed to love me. You supposed to care. You're supposed to admire me. You understand? You're nodding at this and they keep trying to dismiss it and disregard it and make it seem like you making stuff up. No. You know something ain't right. You know something ain't right. Okay? What that something is going to be exposed and revealed. Okay? Now, person B. Person B is coming in as the Page of Swords. Okay? They're coming through taking these conversations unserious. I feel like they're brushing you off. Okay? I feel like anytime you try to have a simple question with them, they want to try to brush you off. They're dismissive, they're condescending, they act like you're making things up. You know, they are unfocused in the conversation, okay? It's also more so like they're very indifferent about it. Where you're trying to have a conversation to resolve any issues, they're over here making like, they like, what? I don't even know what you're talking about. And trying to make you feel like you're the person who's lost your sense, right? This also goes back to them showing the signs that this is not really what they want, right? Because how do you get into a space where you're talking about you're ready to marry somebody, but you can't have a difficult conversation? You can't be honest. You know, you can't just say, baby, I feel vulnerable in this situation. You can't come forward and be just like, you know, maybe I am overthinking. Maybe I am tripping. You know, maybe I am, but I'm feeling very inadequate here. I'm feeling very insecure here. You know, you used to do all this stuff. You used to buy me flowers every week, and you used to be able to do this, that, and the third. And all of a sudden, all these things have just stopped. Right? And I'm just confused. Like, where did this go? You know, where did the love go? And this person is over here pretending like you just, like they in a whole different relationship. Like, what? I never did this. It's the gaslighting, okay? When I tell you so sincerely, I mean what I'm saying. This person is coming through as a narcissistic person. They have made a habitual habit of gaslighting you. Love. When I tell you all the toxic traits, if there was a list of toxic traits, let me Google this, because I mean, I want to know, is there a list of toxic traits? What is a list of toxic traits in a partner? Okay, we got one, y'all. Gaslighting, manipulation, controlling behavior, negativity, jealousy, disrespectful, abusiveness. Egocentricity is where everything revolves around them, their needs, and their feelings while disregarding other people, and passive aggression. When I told you, this person sounds like the epitome of a toxic partner. Okay? They embody all the toxic traits of a person. And unfortunately, person A fell victim to this because they didn't see none of this. They didn't see it. That's why she's over here saying in the earworm, baby, you don't pay me no mind. You act like you don't love me no more. Maybe you need space or some time. Your attitude is unpredictable. And I don't want to make you unhappy. If you're not happy, then you're free to go on. Because I don't want you staying around if I make you feel so miserable. Right? This is person A trying to take back their power, trying to take back their self-love, trying to step into who they really are, who they've always been. Because I feel like in this equation somewhere, in the midst of all of this excitement, in the midst of, oh my God, I'm getting married. You know, oh my God, it's really happening. You know, like I'm really feeling the love. I'm really feeling the admiration. I'm really feeling the joy. God has finally answered my prayers. You know, you're feeling this level of exhilaration only to be met with this level of effort. And then when you start asking questions about what happened, you know, like, how did we get here? Like, what happened? And all of a sudden, this person just starts to really show their true colors because the love bombing has stopped, right? The love bombing has stopped. The newness has ended. The honeymoon phase has ended, right? Everything that was joyful about this is no longer. And you're over here being confused, like, what just happened? They're being very immature. Okay, I can tell you that now. They're being very immature. And they don't realize how destructive their behavior really truly is. Okay? They don't know how destructive their behavior really truly is. Now, before we move forward, tell me, where are you falling into this equation? Are you identifying more with person A and person B? And if so, how is this energy making you feel right now? Okay. And remember, energy can be transferable. So it could be either it could be the other person, either way around, right? But let me know, where are you falling into this? Okay. Now, what is favorable about this is what I said it was with this tower moment. Okay. The best thing that has ever happened is that person A has refused to give up on person B. Okay? And this goes back to that self-love piece, right? Because you're trying to keep what naturally needs to happen from happening. What I mean by that is, we already know. We already know that there is an ending that is looming here. Okay? There is an ending that is imminent. All right. We already know that. You see that this ain't working. You see that this person has checked out. They over here doing whatever they doing, making things difficult for you. Instead of them just saying, you know what? I think I made a mistake. I think I was moving too fast. Instead of them taking accountability and owning their skit, right? Instead of that happening, they're over here just trying to pretend like none of this stuff never happened. Like you don't have a dog in the fight. And the reality is that the more that you have been trying to hold on to this, the more person A is starting to realize you need to really let go of this. Okay? You need to let go. And the question is, if you are the person who's holding on to this, why are you refusing to let go? It goes back to the question of, do you love yourself? Do you love yourself? And if you recall in the beginning of this reading, when we talked about self-love, we talked about how people don't necessarily know what that looks like. That's why we Google, what exactly is self-love? Prioritizing yourself, setting healthy boundaries, forgiving yourself, listening to your body, blah, 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 blah. Right? But people don't really particularly know what that is. And when we in it and we keep saying, because I know some of y'all are saying, but I love him. Okay, do you love this person more than you love yourself? Do you love this person more than you love yourself? Sometimes you have got to love yourself more than the other person. Enough to say, enough is enough. I'm in love with the lie. I'm in love with untruth. I'm in love with the vision that I thought was about to become my life, but it wasn't real.
The lies. There you go. This bitch. I'm telling you.
Okay? I'm just being honest. Sometimes that is the most painful thing that you will come to the realization, is that you was in love with a lie. I don't know if y'all watch Housewives. I really don't watch Housewives, but I was bored yesterday and I watched the episode of Housewives. And Portia was on there and she admitted out loud. She said, I'm grieving the loss of what I thought my life, a vision or something like that, she said, right? And the reality is that you have got to learn how to love the truth, not these lies. Okay, not these lies. Because when you really think about it, a lot of us are in love with lies, versions of the truth that don't even exist.
Stop it. What?
Okay? A lot of times we are in love with these fallacies of what we think is. And the actions are not lining up with the words. The behaviors ain't matching what they saying. And what I'm telling you is, in this instance, y'all, in this instance right here, you got a person that is over here that is in love with the lie. Okay? In love with the lie. So the question then becomes, what do you do? What do you do? Do you stay in love with this lie? Now that the truth is coming out, do you have some integrity? Okay? Do you have some integrity? All right? Now, what's consequential about all of this? Hey, boo. The Star card. Remember I said at the beginning of this reading that now is not the time for you to be positive, Patty. Remember I said that? Now is not the time for you to be positive, Patty. The consequence in all of this is that you're still holding out hope. It's exactly what I just said. You still holding out hope, but what are you holding out hope for? What are you holding on to? So if you find yourself in this situation, the question then becomes, what are you holding on to? And why are you holding on? Because whatever it is, the question then becomes, how is this more important than you loving yourself? Okay? How does it become more important? I mean, I'm like you. I've been in love before where I was going to go to the end of time with somebody. But when I really thought about it, I said, self, this doesn't make a lick of sense. You over here letting somebody drag you just for the sake of dragging you, and they dragging you just because they can. We got to love ourselves more. When somebody is showing you that they don't want you, that they don't care, that they don't respect you, they don't consider you, they don't value you, you have got to put yourself in the predicament of understanding that those are indicators. That those are indicators that it's time to move on. And if you feel like you're in a situation that you're not receiving the reciprocity, why are you torturing yourself by remaining open to somebody who can't even give you the basics? Why are you being so optimistic about this? That's the question. What this is trying to teach you, I just said it, with the Two of Cups. This is trying to teach you. This is not the soulmate connection that you thought it was. This is not the life that you thought that you were. None of this. This is not the part. This is nothing. This is nothing. I mean, if we want to be honest, it feels like this was a test. This feels like this was a test. You got everything that you wanted, everything that you've been dreaming of, only for it to fall apart. Okay, so now that it's falling apart, what do you do with that? Why do you keep holding on to the crumbs of something that doesn't even exist? It's almost like consuming a biscuit. And you know how when you're biting into the biscuit's so good and the crumbs keep falling and you just keep picking up all the crumbs. At what point do you realize that it's gone? This is an unhealthy, toxic situation. And you don't love yourself enough to move on? I mean, these are real questions to ask. How do you allow somebody to disrespect you so much to your face? It's beyond me. And when I say that with love. Because for some reason or another, when we get into these instances, we get into these predicaments where we allow people to disrespect us to our face. You know how we always say you let people play in your face? Y'all let people disrespect you to your face. Okay? You allow way too much. Way too much. And this is why it goes back to you having to learn how to love yourself. So my first question to you is, what do you think the worst that's going to happen if you let go? What is the worst worst that can happen if you let go? And are you even noticing the patterns that you're creating for your life? What you need to do to heal with this Ace of Swords in reverse, okay? You don't want to admit that you made a mistake. You don't want to admit that there is a level of fear here. But what I don't understand is, how do you have a level of fear in it? And how do you have a level of fear without it? If you're going to be scared, you might as well do something that works for you and do it scared. Because it doesn't feel like this person really has your best interest at heart. And we just have to be honest about that. You over here suffering in silence, trying to pretend like you happy, trying to put on for the gram, trying to put on for folks that don't care and people who ain't really looking. So the question then becomes, what is the worst that can happen if you leave? The worst that can happen is that you embarrassed because you walked away?
This is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency broadcasting system. This is only a test.
I mean, seriously. Seriously. If someone is showing you who they are, why is it so difficult for you to believe it? People do play mind games with people, you know. People do, sorry y'all, my hair getting on it's bothering my face. People do play mind games. There are medical journals written about stuff like this. Okay? So, you know, when we talk about toxic traits and things like that, this is not things that, you know, people are just making up. People do prey on people. Okay? And you got to recognize when something is not serving you, it is time for you to leave it alone. I don't care what way it comes to. Okay? It could come in the biggest box with the prettiest bow on it. I give y'all the example of how it feels when you go to the grocery store and you buy some fruit. And that fruit is so juicy and ripe looking, and it's red, strawberry specifically. And you see that strawberry and it's all red and look juicy and plump, genetically modified because the strawberry big as your head is. But anyway, we're going to leave that alone. And so you go home and you bite into that strawberry ain't got a lick of taste in it. But it looked good, didn't it? You understand what I'm saying? You invested in this man thinking that this man was going to give you something different because they love bombed you. They created the narrative. They popped the question. You said yes. And the moment that it was time for them to deliver on what they said they was going to deliver, they fell short. And that's where you started asking questions. And you started asking too many questions. Because now this person has done the complete opposite. They done pulled back. They're withdrawn from you. They're ignoring you. Playing in your face, doing disrespectful things. Don't want to have making things more difficult than what it has to be. So if they don't want to leave it alone, then at what point do you just leave it alone?
Bomboka!
What point do you walk away? What did I need to do? For one, y'all need to have a conversation. For two, you need to stop trying to manifest something that don't exist with this person. I'm going to be honest with you. You're trying to be happy. You're trying to be secure. You're trying to have celebratory things. You're trying to get to your happily ever after. But you're never going to find what you're looking for in this thing here. Happiness can be somewhere else. Remember, I told you, now is not the time for you to be out here trying to be positive Patty. I meant what I said. Remember when I told y'all in the beginning of this reading, with this exposed and revealed, followed by this imagination card, I said, now is not the time for you to act like you didn't see what you didn't see. And if you don't believe me, you can go back and watch this at the beginning of this reading, because I definitely said it. Put your ear in the chat if you heard me when I said it, because I've said it 2 or 3 times now. Now is not the time for you to be like, oh, it's going to get better. It's not. So not only do you have that person lying to you, but now you lying to you too?
Bruh.
This person said they don't feel the way that they feel for you. It's confusing. I will give you that. It's absolutely confusing. It doesn't make a lick of sense. If you really think about it, how do you have the audacity to go and buy a wedding ring for somebody and propose to somebody only for you not to really see them in that way? But what I'm telling you is, this person has very toxic traits, and this is what they do. This is a part of the love bombing. Y'all gotta understand. I'm not laughing at this. I'm laughing at the way it came to me. The health of up here in people's minds are important. You don't know what goes in to that mind of theirs, but you know what comes out. Okay? And a person that could be so brazen to ask you to marry them, only for them to not be, first of all, ready to be a husband or ready to be married, and then want to backpedal on what they did without an explanation, speaks volumes to the integrity of what's going on up here. Does it not? See, you over here trying to get happy with this 3 of Pentacles. You over here trying to get happy. All right? Over here trying to get happy, trying to get ready to rejoice. You worried about all the wrong things. You over here trying to plan a wedding. And you can't even plan a dinner that they gonna show up to. So I have to ask the question, even to you. Are you even present with what's going on? Because it feels like, to me, honestly, I'm just going to be honest. It feels like you have bought into the level of delusionalness to where you're now lying to yourself. You have bought into this lie. And I go back to, what is stopping you from moving on? Have you been honest with yourself yet? That this is not the relationship that you're looking for? Have you been honest with yourself? Because it definitely feels like you have not been honest with yourself. It definitely feels like you are in a predicament where you have allowed yourself to fall victim to this. And the question then becomes, at what point do you stop allowing somebody else to put you in these predicaments? I don't think that you really love this person as much as you think. I think it's more so you love the idea of what this represented and what this meant. That's what I pick up on. I don't pick up on the fact that it was really truly love. I don't pick up on none of that. I feel like this was more of a grasp for straws and how this will look for everybody else. But you're not looking at how it looks like on you. I'll give you an example. Y'all know how y'all buy, we shop online. Y'all know how y'all buy something online and it looks so cute on the model. But then when it gets on you, it don't fit you the same. That's what we're talking about here. You like the idea, but it don't look good. It don't feel good. It don't fit good. It don't look good. So when you gonna stop lying to yourself? This person has toxic ways. And if you were to marry this person, you're going to be marrying a problem. This is a huge problem. This is a huge red flag. And you just sitting over here acting like you don't know what's, acting like you living in oblivion. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. This don't give you nothing. It's going to cost you more than you're going to gain from this. I can tell you that. And all of the truth is coming out. Again, this goes back to you being exposed and revealed. Not you, but them. Everything about them is coming out. But you keep on trying to act like you don't see what you see. You don't know what you know. You didn't feel what you feel. You didn't hear it. Like playing dumb. Playing dumb. And I go back to the question that nobody wants to really answer. But this is about us being honest as grown folks talking. Why are you so hesitant to moving on? Why are you so hesitant? Why are you so fearful? What do you have to lose? And then the question becomes, do you love yourself enough to put a period where you left the ... But I'm telling you, we got the world again. Until you can let go of the things that no longer, this was a major life lesson for you, Earth signs. This really was. Y'all over here, y'all be over here just holding on, just to be holding on, because y'all so faithful. Y'all don't want to have to start all over again. You don't want to go back. You scared. You don't want to have to start all over again. You scared because, you know, you don't want to have to go back and walk back everything else. You know, you don't want to have to post on social media. It's with a heavy heart that, you know, Michael and I broke up, whatever.
Embarrassing.
But what I'm going to tell you is what is embarrassing is not necessarily you standing up for yourself. What's embarrassing is you cowarding in a position with somebody that is not truthful and it's not sincere. That's embarrassing. You're falling in love with the lie.
Denied.
And then you wondering why you're not getting superior results. It's time for you to find people and things that really fill you up and edify you, not just tear you down. And honestly, that I question. I mean, seriously, I really do question if person A is really in a space to really even be with somebody else. Because seriously, to allow somebody to do these things to you all the time, and not to speak up for yourself, not to defend yourself, not to hold them accountable and put their feet to the fire, not to stand on business, that's not necessarily love. That's fear. You're allowing somebody to take from you and rob you of your joy, of your strength, of your light. Just because they want to control the situation, just because they want to control the narrative. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. But I'm telling you, I feel strongly that there was a lie that was told. That's why we have all of these cards here saying it. And instead of you admitting that this maybe went too fast, maybe you weren't thinking clearly, whatever. Instead of you admitting the truth to yourself, you keep going on with the lie. And when you going to wake up out of this dream? Because keep going down this path if you want to. This is unmanageable. This is unmanageable. You're never going to get out what you're putting into this relationship. They're never going to step up. They're never going to do any of this stuff. This is going to be a chronic problem, a chronic argument, a chronic dilemma. And my question is to you as well. Do you have a pattern of attracting toxic people? Because once you get into that space of being healthy and healed and recognizing what toxicity looks like, you repel that, not attract it. You understand? Like, it can't come near you. It can't coincide. It doesn't make sense. You know? It's like having, I'm trying to think of an example. I can't even think of one right now. But the point is, it's like having Chick-fil-A and Burger King. Two different products. You understand? One is not like the other. And you will come to notice these things. You will. You will come to notice these things and you realize how repulsive it is. When you start growing and you start evolving and maturing and coming into yourself, you don't do the old things you used to do anymore. You know why you don't do them? Because it don't resonate with you no more. So again, I ask you if you identify with person A. Maybe now is the time for you to look at yourself and figure out what is it about you that continues to attract this toxic nonsense into your life. And I'm saying that with love, not from a place of condemnation. Because you've fallen in love with a bunch of stuff that don't make any sense.
Oh, a bunch of bullshit.
You've fallen in love with the wrong things. And we gotta ask the question, how do we keep allowing ourselves to get caught up in some nonsense that doesn't make any sense? And I know it's difficult because every time you try to walk away, here this person come back.
Hold up.
But it's just the toxic. It's just the toxic. The toxicity spewing, which is what makes it damaging, which is what makes it compromising and problematic. Which is why when you see signs of these things, you gotta walk away. So that you don't get caught up in things that don't serve you. We gotta stop ignoring things when things ain't adding up. Because you give credence to that and you allow people to occupy space and time in your life that's critical for something else. If you wouldn't let somebody play with your money, why are you going to let them play with your heart? If y'all ready to get the closing thoughts, go ahead and put into the chat your paper, pens, notebooks, whatever it is, right? Because it's time for us to look at this and to figure out like, ooh, what I'm telling you where to go with this, but we're going to look and see just because. I regret to say this, but I feel like it's important to say. We live in a society where a lot of people are just not where they should be mentally and emotionally. And it is spewing in our relationships. And it's damaging because so many people are compromised and don't know how to heal, don't want to heal, lack self-awareness, accountability, responsibility, self-love. All of those things that you have to be in a decent relationship with somebody. And somebody on TikTok just said, when it don't add up, subtract yourself. And that's like the biggest thing here that we can talk about. Everybody keeps talking about doing the work, do the work, do the work. Well, what does the work look like? Sometimes doing the work means you got to be celibate. Sometimes doing the work means I don't need to be on the market dating nobody else right now. Sometimes getting clear means I need to go pay instead of buying some Jordans and a polo t-shirt, I need to go pay for a therapy session. Sometimes that looks like, let me go buy a journal so I can document how I'm feeling and what I'm thinking. Sometimes it's reading books that are difficult to read and trying to get answers and clarity. Sometimes it looks like you're doing nothing But sometimes it just looks like becoming clear. And sometimes y'all too busy to get clear because you're inundated with all the wrong things. Inundated on social media, inundated with looking cute, inundated with being seen on the scene. Inundated with trying to prove a point to a crowd that ain't listening. Okay? Like, the lack of clarity is mind-boggling. Because when you're clear, you see what this looks like coming towards you and you be like, I'm good. I'm good. No, thank you. The best thing you could do is take a step back. And I know it don't feel good sometimes because sometimes we always interested in that next big thing. What does it look like? I'm going to get out there. I'm going to put myself on the market. I'm going to have another you in another minute. That's the wrong narrative. The wrong narrative. Rebounding from a past situation that was messed up with somebody else is not the answer. Because once you get clear and have that level of clarity, y'all really start to hear the hurt come out of people. You hear what the issues are. I told y'all I was talking to the little young boy the other day while I was waiting. And I could just hear it. The fear of abandonment, the fear of rejection. And when I called it out, he was like, well, I wouldn't call it rejection. Well, nobody ever wants to call it what it is, but it is what it is. And I let him finish his statement. And then when he finished his statement, I said, let me tell you why you're afraid of rejection. Because you rejected her before she could even reject you. Oh, right. We running around here trying to prove points when really the only thing that you got to prove is to yourself. Prove to yourself that you're worthy of love. Prove to yourself that you're worthy of trust. Prove to yourself that you are worthy of a relationship that is going to be healthy and supportive and full of vitality. Prove to yourself that you deserve somebody that's full of integrity and decency and order. Prove it to yourself. Now, how you do that? By stop tolerating stupidity. Stop making excuses for poor behavior. Yes, nobody is perfect. That is absolutely correct. But how many times does a person have to show you they don't care about you? They don't love you. They don't respect you. They don't even like you. How many times? I mean, I can go on and on with this. Seriously, I can. Because I am people who had to learn the lesson. I can teach a whole master class on it. Does it feel comfortable that I'm single? No. Do I enjoy this? Absolutely not. But I will tell you, I'd rather stand for myself and choose myself than to fall for anything. I'd rather be alone and at peace and have clarity than to be tied down and bogged down, stressed out, overwhelmed, and feeling like my life is falling apart. I'd rather be laughed at for being single at 41 than to be laughed at for being embarrassed at 41 by something my man out here doing. I'd rather be patient and wait on God to send me the person that I need, not the person that I want, the person that I need. than to be jumping from man to man to man like I'm still in my early 20s and don't know better. At some point, self-accountability has to play a part here. And I'm not going to sit here and ever advocate for stupidity. That's what's wrong with a lot of us now. We got people over here advocating for stupidity and nonsense. We got to stop with that. If you don't want somebody who is hot and cold, don't go settling for somebody that's hot and cold. That's a period. If your deal breaker is, I don't want somebody who's going to shut down and just withdraw from me, then that's a deal breaker. That's a period. So you want to get to acting moody? You don't want to talk to me? You ignoring my calls? You haven't called me in a week? When you pop up, let this be a reminder. You're not in a relationship anymore. So you can stay over there, and I'm going to stay over here. But the moment that you start to be passive aggressive in tolerating that tells them that it is okay for them to treat you that way. And then you wonder why you get in this repetitive cycle of them doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. I'm going to get out my soapbox. But I felt like that was important to say that because I'm not liking the energy of either person that's coming through here this morning. Honest to God, I'm not. And if you are aligning with person A, you got to be real clear and look at yourself and be like, what am I doing to contribute to this? How am I playing a part in all of this? Now, it feels like you're not going to be so quick to want to walk away and quick to correct this situation. It feels like you're in it to win it because you're in it because you like the look of everything. And I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. This is an impulsive and bad decision. This is an impulsive and bad decision. If you want to stay in this relationship because this is the first time you done got a wedding ring that they probably bought at the pawn shop anyway, you're making the wrong decision. And I'm not saying this to shame anybody. I'm saying this to point out, look at the quality of the relationship. If you look at what should a healthy marriage look like, and those skills and attributes and qualities don't translate into this relationship that you're dating in, how was this even a healthy dating life? If you're looking at your person and they check off every check box of a toxic person, how can you even get to the state of the point of having a healthy relationship if you nurturing and babysitting a toxic individual? They don't ever have the capacity of becoming healthy because they're unhealthy. And respectfully, the only way they're going to get to a space of being healthy is if and only if they're willing to do the work. And what I'm telling you is this person is giving me the energy of somebody who's immature and copes. They don't even see what you're saying to them. And they're not ready. They're not ready. They're going to make things difficult for you every which way possible. Because that's who they are. But you want to keep on going with this because you don't want somebody to know that you had to say, I'm going to give him back his ring. It don't make sense. It's okay. Let me tell y'all something. You would not be the first or the last person to have to walk away from a relationship because it wasn't what you thought it was. You got to have courage. You got to have strength. You got to know when it's time to go.
I am disgusted.
That's real power. That's real strength. The biggest flex you can do is walk away from something when you know it ain't serving you. It could be as painful as it's going to be. But you'll be better tomorrow. The biggest flex in life is not settling when something don't look and feel good. That's the biggest flex. But somehow we've been conditioned to stay in things that don't serve us just because it look good on the outside. You got to stop being impulsive and have some courage. Stop refusing to make a decision because you scared of what everybody else gonna say. Who the hell cares? It's your life. You the only person waking up in that body every day. Getting up and putting on them shoes and walking in them every day. Who cares what somebody else saying and thinking? Here it is. It definitely feels like Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn are finally going to come to the conclusion that it's time for them to walk away from this and do something different. You're not going to make this decision lightly. It's going to be something that you think about for a very, very, very long time. But you're going to have to do something different. You're going to have to. Okay? You're going to have to. I know it feels like you don't want to give up. Here go this Temperance again. But this time it's upright. You're going to have patience with yourself. Not only are you going to have patience with yourself, you're going to have to take a step back and learn how to heal so that you don't repeat these same mistakes again. Because I'm telling you, even going back here, once the truth starts coming out, you're going to be very disappointed. Because your dreams are falling apart right before your eyes. But what you'll still come to realize is this is really not your dreams and your life falling apart. This is really your life coming together. This is really about you maturing and stepping into a new version of yourself. Because this person was never healthy for you to begin with. Never. This person also deals with actual addictions. Okay? And that may have been something that you was not privy to coming into this as well. And that's what's also made this place so difficult to deal with this desert. And I feel like this is something that you're coming into awareness of by you looking for information. Okay? Definitely looking for information. Now, I'm curious. Will this Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn walk away from this Gemini, Libra, Aquarius for good? I definitely feel like this Gemini, Libra, Aquarius will wake up one day and regret everything that they've done to you. Today is not the day, though. Today is not the day. What was the question I asked? I just forgot the question I asked. It was, would Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn walk away from this Gemini, Libra, Aquarius? There's going to be a big break here. Okay, there's going to be a big breaking point. The answer to the card was a maybe with this 4 of Swords in reverse. There will be an exhaustion, burnout, deep contemplation, stagnation, which is what we talked about right here. Okay, relentlessness and stress. So I do feel like Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn is going to be the typical Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Y'all not going to make this decision lightly. You're going to want to pontificate back and vacillate back and forth. Okay. Should I not? Should I not? Right. And that's coming up here. But I do think eventually you will get the strength enough for you to be able to move on and to be focused on the betterment of you, the health of you, the healing of you. Realizing that you deserve better. Remember, self-love is not something, we talk about self-love, but it looks different for everybody. Right? It looks different for everybody. But when you come to the awareness and the conclusion that you owe yourself so much more, your life is so much valuable than this. Once you come into that awareness, I think you're going to really start realizing who you are. But you don't see it yet. You have given so much of your heart and your soul to people who take your kindness for weakness. And I'm not going to be brazen and judgmental just to call it low self-esteem. Because that's what people would love to do, is to say, oh, girl, you got some low self-esteem you need to work on. It's not about the low self-esteem. Everybody wants to be loved and admired and cared for. Every woman wants their person to propose to them and say, you are the person for me. You're not wrong for that. Everybody on this planet want to be showered with love and adoration and admiration. Everybody wants to be put on a pedestal and told how beautiful they are and told how attractive, whatever that attraction looks like. Everybody wants that. But not everybody is in a position to give that. And I know it's hurtful when you come to the conclusion that it's time for you to let somebody go and leave them in the past because they're not serving your greatest and your highest good. It hurts. It hurts to realize that you're growing this way and they're not going with you because they're growing that way. That hurts. But you got to take back control over your own destiny. You got to take control over your own life. What little control we do have. And say, today is the day that I decide that I want to do better. And I'm not pandering to people who can't give me better. You're not my target audience. I deserve somebody who's going to be authentic, sincere, transparent, loving, giving, blah, 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 blah. Whatever your list is. And if you look at your basic needs and this person don't hit none of those, then I ask you again, why are you here? If God didn't give us nothing else, he gave us free will. That means you can do whatever you want to do. Now, everything ain't always good for you to do, but you can do whatever you want to do. It is written. You can do whatever you want to do, but it ain't always going to be good for you to do it. But whenever you get ready to leave, you can always go. Sure can. And if you don't know if that's the right answer to your problems, just pray about it. But what I'm telling you is that you've seen signs. You keep asking God for signs, he's slapping them all in your face. Blah, 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 blah. Playing flag football with your face. So I ask you, what else are you waiting on? Don't be afraid to have to start over. People start over every day. People start over every day. The most empowering thing that you could ever do in your life is start over and come up, glow up. That's the best thing ever. The biggest flex is saying I had to walk away from the old version of me so that the new version of me could live and exist. And sometimes that look like you losing friends. That look like losing a man, losing a relationship, losing your hair, losing weight. I mean, like, it can look like anything. But what it won't look like is you being confused and delusional and holding on to things that ain't serving you. What it won't look like is I don't love myself enough to know when it's time to move on. You understand? So I know that this ain't, this ain't the idea reading. So I'm curious if you found this message resonating with you. Did this outcome align with what you were expecting or no? And if it wasn't, what would you do to rewrite the outcome? You have the power to change your situation. So if you don't like it, what you gonna do that's gonna be different? But I want you to know, I want you really to know that I want you to be empowered and feel inspired. Don't be anybody's victim. And don't victimize yourself. Because I can tell you, I've done it to myself so many times. Holding on. And then by the time you look at what you've been holding on to, whatever, you could have started holding on to this, for example. And as life will have it, it would just keep getting further and further and further away. And then next thing you know, you're just holding on. And then you look down, ain't nothing to hold on to. Be empowered to be intentional about your love life and who you invite in and who you let go. Because some of the people that y'all letting in, they ain't worth 3 bananas in the African village to feed the hungry. It's time for us to stop settling. And I don't care who you are. Stop settling. Stop settling. All right? So with that being said, I want to thank you so much for tuning in to the Pisces Tarot Experience. If you've enjoyed this reading, all right, if you've enjoyed this reading, y'all, if you enjoyed this reading, okay, I am going to tell y'all right now to make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, okay? You can always find me on YouTube at Mimi Lightseer and join our growing community, okay? You can always bookmark this reading, y'all. Y'all can always come back and, you know, just play it again if you ever want to come back and listen to it, but it is available for you, okay? So I love hearing from you. I love hearing y'all thoughts. Make sure y'all start engaging with the content, okay? I record these readings for a reason so y'all can come back and listen to it. And make sure that y'all are engaging. Like, sheesh. Y'all like to email, call, text, you know, do all of that, which I appreciate. And I understand that these messages can be very personal. But help me help you by engaging with the content. I don't care if you just put an emoji. Wink at me and I'm going to wink back at you. You know what I'm saying? But just make sure that y'all definitely do that. For me, please. If you are interested in booking, I am available only for readings at PiSeasTarot.com, PiSeasTarot.com. The link is in my bio. I would never reach out to you for a reading. So please be clear that if somebody's reaching out to you, talking about they meet child, they are a fake, phony, and a fraud. All right. I want to welcome all of our new subscribers, all of the people who just joined. Okay. I want to say thank you to all of the people who just joined. Thank you to all of the people who made a point of following me and just rocking with me, you know, just all of those different things like that. Thank you. I know that I ain't my cup of tea and how I do things ain't for everybody, and that's okay. You know, but we do this my way. Okay, over here at the Pisces Tarot Experience. So I definitely appreciate it. If this rocks, if this resonates with you and you like it, thank you. Listen, y'all. Remember, everybody is fighting a battle that you cannot see. Okay? So it is so important that right now in these unprecedented times that you be kind, patient, and gentle with others as much as you are with yourself. How people treat you is not your business. Okay? But how you respond is. So make sure you leave a little bit of love everywhere you go today, all right? And I will see you tomorrow. Have a blessed day, y'all. Bye.